Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Hat and Beard Show. I'm James. It's 7 p.m. Your guy in an attentive audience. Well, that means time to talk about the NFL. And then, of course, our Detroit Lions with kind of a light load at practice today. We're going to be kind of taking a little bit more of a chill approach to tonight. Going to be poking around at, clearly I was listening to Ella Langley choosing Texas before we went live. We'll be talking about Stefon Diggs signing with the Commies. And Brandon Aiyuk is sitting there being a boo-hoo, belly-aching old little sad boy. We'll look at the Lions injury report, currently what's going on with that. Got some good news from a position. Got a little bit of a veteran boost at what has kind of, via death by 1,000 paper cuts, suddenly become a relatively empty, needing some veteran presence position for the Lions. And then A to Z Sports actually has a really good article that is kind of a mailbag situation, and all the questions were good ones. So I'm going to go ahead and poach that content. Ha! Just kidding. Going to read it through a little bit. We're going to talk about it with Mad Hatter Nation. If you guys want to know and get into Mad Hatter Nation, you got to do the thing. Got to subscribe. So, it is what it is. Guy, let's go ahead and get into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
All right, guys. So the Commies over in D.C. going to go ahead and sign Steph Diggs, leaving Brandon Aiyuk to stew in his odd behavior. We got Fox News over here. Diggs will likely sign a one-year contract to join Jaden Daniels. To get your words out, bud. And Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. The Commies desperately wanted to add wide receiver help for their offense, who had basically two obvious and productive veteran options to pick, Steph Diggs or Brandon Aiyuk. And so the guy who has played for three different teams over the past 3 seasons and somehow wore out his welcome, despite 2 1,000-yard seasons in that time. Sure. If we have a basket case or a basket case, I guess let's take the basket case. Sure thing. Or the guy who signed a big contract with the Niners in 24, got injured, didn't play in 25, and became a candidate for an intervention because of his bizarre behavior in recent months. Yeah, that'd be Brandon Aiyuk. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know which one. Who sounds better, huh? The Commanders are going with Diggs. Diggs is set to sign with the Commies. NFL Network first reported on Wednesday. Diggs will agree to what is expected to be a one-year contract and will be not a minimum salary deal. He'll join Terry McLaurin, Traylon Burks, Luke McCaffrey, and Diami Brown, all who must produce while rookie Antonio Williams develops. He's got to let him bake. Antonio, you got to sit in the oven a little bit longer. You're buried on the depth chart behind the talent of Traylon Burks. This is good for Diggs. He's from the Maryland to Virginia area. He's coming off his first full healthy season in 3 years, and he's once again playing with a good quarterback in Jaden Daniels. Shots fired? So I guess, and he's once again playing with a good quarterback. Does that mean that Drake May, who just led the Patriots to the Super Bowl in his second year, is not a good quarterback? Or are we implying that CJ Stroud is not a good quarterback? I'm not saying CJ. I'm not saying either one of those two are like, oh yeah, that's who I want. Especially when, let's be real, it's hard. It's kind of hard to look at other teams' quarterbacks when here in the 3-1-3 we're sitting on JG16 for MVP. I mean, it's kind of hard to pass judgment. But you guys know the antics of Brandon Aiyuk. We don't need to talk more about it. Aiyuk didn't hide his desire to go to the Commies because he desperately wants out of San Francisco. And Daniels was his college teammate in Arizona State, where the two had some good chemistry, Mr. White. The Commanders expressed some interest in Aiyuk with the 49ers months ago. But the interest waned, and now one can only imagine how Aiyuk will react to the news that the team offering his best chance for playing the season is going with a separate basket case, going with a different one. They said, hey, it's a free market. I can take whichever big basket of crazy I want. Yo, what if at this point we're trying to see who gets signed to a team first? Tyreek Hill or Brandon Aiyuk? Tyreek, I have no power in my leg, Hill, or Brandon, I have no power in my brain, Aiyuk. Oh man, the NFL, not a lot going on this Wednesday. How we doing, chat? How we doing? What's going on, everybody? Let's see. Lions got Kenny Albert, John Vilma to call week 1. That's great news. What a runner by Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah, dude. Yeah, by Deion Branch. Yeah, dude. Exactly. The old CTE brain of Jonathan Vilma. What's up, American Boxer? Which matters more, size or accuracy? Oh, that's a good point, dude. Well, it depends on what you have to go through. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Vilma, pronunciation week 1. Gerald Goff, Penny Sewell, Andy Hutchinson, dude. Bro. I don't know about Goff. Although funny, I don't know if he'll mess up Goff so much, but I will tell you this much. Penny Sewell and Andy Hutchinson, that is like can we get that on Kalshi? You know what I'm saying? Can we get Kalshi in here and like get a will it happen bet? You know what I'm saying, dude? Because that's dude, I gotta get it. You know what I need, guy? You know what I need? I need like a stand that or like, oh, dude, I should just like hold it like a microphone, like when like a stand up mic, dude. Instead of being like a guy with a podcast mic, you know, the same microphone everybody else has with the same fancy little arm that I paid way too much money that does the same thing that all the arms do that you guys can't even see. Why did I pay so much? I mean, it was on sale, and I will admit it is a lot smoother than the old squeaky weaky one that we had many years ago. I've had this one for a while now, but you know what I'm saying. What's up, Brandy? How you doing? Who signs first, Brandon, Tyreek, or Terrian? Yeah, dude, honestly, at this point, I think a team would be better off trading for Kendrick Law from the Lions than signing Brandon Aiyuk. Bro, I'd rather have TK85, but I'm biased because I know how good TK85 can be. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Mr. Detroit City? Appreciate it, dude. We were trying to keep up the great work, trying to figure out the microphone situation. Stupid microphone thing is stupid. Yeah. Hey, Detroit Sports Talk. Listen on the highway coming back from Daytona. Nice, dude, Mr. Detroit City. Detroit Sports Talk. Yeah. How do you guys feel about that? How are we feeling? How are we feeling about the not Chris Spielman hiring? How do we feel about that? How do we feel? I'm trying to figure out a good spot on camera here. Should I redo the whole camera setup? Like move things around? I don't know if this is Yeah. Look, here's the thing, guy. We are coming into the start of the Big 2-6, right? And projections for the Hat and Beard Show are just like trying to keep them tempered, but when you're on the cusp of 1,000 subscribers, it feels like you're on the cusp of 100,000 subscribers. And once we hit that in the Big 2-6, big things are going to be happening. You know what I mean, guy? And I want to make sure that everything looks good. So I don't mind. I like to do the changes as the season happens. I think maybe a retool. What do you think? Maybe a retool. Maybe that's what we talk about Friday night. Maybe have a little few soda pops, hang out after a little happy hour. How does that sound, guy? Does that sound good? I was hoping it was Mike Disner. Oh, no shit. Fair enough. Stopped at Bucky's and fired up Hat and Beard. Hell yeah, Mr. Detroit City. Detroit Sports Talk, dude. I'm gonna be honest, dude. I was really hoping it was gonna be Chris Spielman, and that's just because like he was one of us, you know. Like it feel like am I wrong to think that like Chris Spielman getting the president and CEO job of the Detroit Lions, it's like one of us got it. You know what I mean? Just like someone over here watching OTAs. You know what I mean? And I know that like that Rod Wood did all that, and Shahid or Heidi Haddadi or whatever his name is, Richard Haddad, Rich. I know he's a sports guy, but you know what I mean. It's not that they're not a sports guy. It just feels like one of us, dude, like a blue collar guy made it up. Like you look at him and you just go, yeah, you know what? You see. One of us can make it to the top if you just work hard enough and you just believe in yourself hard enough. I tell you, you can get out of it, Rock. You can make it to the top. You can do it if you can do it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I heard from a friend that DL gave the O-line havoc today. No shit, dude. Ahmed is having awesome camp too. Yeah, bro. Tyleek bullied Cade. First of all, I'm getting a little. Either our D tackles are monsters or Cade Mays is shitting in his pants right now, and I'm really irritated by it. I do, however, got to say I do like the hype around Ahmed in camp, as well as Tyler Lacey. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Lacey's having really good. Yeah, see, you just said Tyler Lacey. Yeah, dude. Yeah, well, we were talking about him. We were talking about him yesterday. His name keeps coming up almost every single day. Every single day. A good play here, a nice play there. You know what I'm saying? Getting a lot of heavy rotation with the ones. He fits that build of that long, heavy end that we want. He's already been here for a year. Peyton Turner, where are you? Derek Moore, I know you're injured, but this is why you can't do these things. You're missing opportunities. It is what it is, dude. You do like the idea, though, of not Mays shit in the bed, but Aleem and Tyleek having some monster years. Maybe I just need to like reposition my laptop better. I don't fucking know, dude. I feel all you know what I'm saying? What's up, Brent Supreme? How you doing? They're playing Lacey at the big end opposite Hutch. Yeah, that's what I've been reading, dude. Cade has been seen on skates with Tyleem and Aleek. That's concerning me. Yeah, Jack, you feel that too, dude. It's a little concerning. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little like, is Big Beef and Aleem, are they really, really good? Or is Cade coming in here and kind of crapping on the bed? You know what I'm saying, dude? Is he kind of crapping in his pantaloons? Let's run down some injury news real quick here, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you comment, subscribe, share this around, ring all my bells and buttons, turn that notification thing on. The injury list is starting to grow. Everything's gotten a little complicated. Here's the latest on Branch, Joseph, Vaki, Moore, Rolder, and every other notable injury from camp. Shout out A to Z Sports. Shout out the Slipper. Brian Branch, he's got an Achilles. Oh, seriously? Okay. I figured it out. As long as my mouse doesn't go...
Room for 6 full-size Passions.
I was wrong.
That doesn't elevate everyone's
I was wrong.
Is a car
I
that
don't know where.
stops short
I don't know
of
where it's
amazing.
coming from. I don't know where it's coming from. Okay, I thought I had it figured out. I thought as long as my mouse didn't go over the ad, it wouldn't. Neat. Isn't that neat? Isn't that neato? All right, I'm going to pause you because I don't care about your content. My camera angle's better. They should pay me to do this. The latest on Branch is that he was on the field in his jersey, running and cutting with trainers off to the side. The last time Campbell was asked, he talked about the possibility of Branch participating in late August or early September. Please don't rush it back. Please don't rush it back unless you're 110%. Look, are you for imprint certain that Achilles is ready to rip, roar, and rock and roll? Kerby Joseph with the knees all spin off to the side of the trainers during workouts. Campbell said Joseph's path is very similar to Branch at this point. Vaki with his nose took a bad poke in the eye and broke his nose. A freak accident. Lions coach MCDC said that there's no major damage to his vision, but that he would be away for a bit to let his nose heal up. That sucks. Like, damn, dude. Like, so do you think he got poked like under like that? And like it like hit his nose and broke his nose and then poked him in the eye? Or do you think someone like came across and like poked his eye and like broke his like the top of his nose, dude? Ooh. Ah. Damn. You know, I'm not one to advocate for people to go ahead and be drinking, especially on a Wednesday, but you know, with the storms blowing around out here right now, maybe Sione Vaki can maybe have an adult beverage. You know what I'm saying? That might, maybe a cold one will help that a little bit. The Cowboy Malcolm Rodriguez left practice early on Tuesday, but did walk back out with his ankle taped up after practice to be with his family. Great. We'll talk about Malcolm Rodriguez later. Jimmy Rolder's got a hamstring and will be out for a while, but reports indicate that this is not expected to be a long-term injury, and Rolder could be back in early September or possibly earlier. Yes, no, maybe. I don't know, but what I do know is that a hamstring injury in training camp will retard development, or even the best player on, like, it'll make any player elite level play like dog water until they can have a whole off season to recoup that. That really sucks for Jimmy Rolder. Apparently he was kind of starting to punch up out of his weight class a little bit there, and then he went and popped his hammy. Going to be out for a while, a little bit here, maybe back early September. Not a good thing, though, to have the hamstring go out on you. It's not. It's one of the worst injuries you can have because you can play, but it's damn near impossible to play through a bum hamstring, dude. Derek Moore hurt his wiener and is expected to be out for 7 to 10 days. He called it a minor strain. Anthony Fursker broke his leg. Miles Kisselman also has a leg and will be out for a while. I'm glad he has at least one leg. Hopefully he can find a second leg here in a little bit. Tyler Conklin, we'll talk about him. He's actually back. Peyton Turner has it back. Giovanni Manu undisclosed. Ben Barch undisclosed, but he's been working off to the side with trainers. Speaking of Tyler Conklin, Detroit Lions veteran Tyler Conklin returning from injury. Beep, 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 beep. Good news. Man, the trees are really blowing around out there. I got some good rain coming down. We need it, though. Damn, guy. I am on an unstoppable path. According to NFL Transaction Wire, veteran tight end Conklin has passed his physical after missing the first week of camp with a calf injury suffered in the spring. Excuse me. That almost certainly means Conklin will come off the PUP list when the Lions return to practice on Thursday. Good. Get a full week of practice in. Maybe we'll see him in week 1 of the preseason. Get a few reps here. His return comes just in time, as the Lions tight end room has suffered several injuries already in camp. Veteran tight end Anthony Firsker has already been placed on IR with a broken leg. The Lions also placed Kisselman on IR with a leg injury of his own. To help out, Detroit added Nick Muse and re-signed Zach Horton. Oh, poor Zach Horton, dude. On the roster, off the roster, on the roster, off the roster. But the return of Conklin figures to be the biggest impact of all the Lions maneuvering in the tight end room. Conklin is an 8-year veteran who has put up at least 400 receiving yards in 4 different occasions. Detroit signed him to a 1-year, $1.3 million deal this offseason to compete for the tight end depth behind Sam Laporta and Brock Wright. Not block wrong. Not good at blocking Brock Wright. Though Conklin is coming off a tough year with the Chargers, he caught at least 50 passes in each of the 4 previous seasons. He brings a strong blend of receiving skills and physical ability to the room that struggled with depth last season. Well, yes. When your top 2 are on IR and miss a combined 14 games, was it? Right? Something like that. 11 games, basically the whole back half of the season. Like when Laporta went down, it was like, hey, well, at least I got Brock Wright. He has made a play or two here or there. You know what I mean? You think about him catching that long touchdown catch against the Jets many, 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 many years ago. The year before we drafted Sam Laporta, there was Brock Wright. That 80-yard touchdown catch, Hey, Brock Wright, But, let's be honest, not necessarily the most reliable guy in the run game. You know what I mean? Additionally, the Lions re-signed wide receiver Tariq Black to fill the roster spot left by Kisselman, and receiver Lawrence Keyes reverted to the Lions IR after the team waived him with an injury designation this week. So now we are all caught up onto any important injury news about the Detroit Lions. Now it is time for us to talk about the mailbag over here at A to Z Sports. And this is what we all came here for. Mailbag. Detroit Lions mailbag. Can the Lions still pay guys after Gibbs? Concerns on the offensive line. What are the real concerns? Is cornerback set? Let's talk about it. But before we do, I need you to do me a favor. You need to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Share this around with all your friends. It's the only way we're going to get out of this 900 subscriber hole. You need to share. You need to like. And subscribe. Do all the things. YouTube apparently likes it when I say these things. So I'm saying these things. How we doing, chat? What's going on? What's up, Jeff? How you doing, bro? Brent Supreme sending the Motor City Mummy. Hell yeah, dude. The killer from Cairo. Let's go. Our DTs are going to be elite. Yes, they are, Jeff. Sue and Fairley equals Lehman Tyleek for many, many years, though, not just one. Vaki might need a priest or a psychic because he might be cursed. I agree. I agree, Day. I agree, Day. I agree. That, yeah. Vaki has this, but maybe he's taken all the bad juju. Maybe Sione Vaki is absorbing all of the bad juju. Like him getting poked in the eye like that. I know I'm not trying to be that guy, but like I said yesterday, how awful would it be if it was Gibbs? Especially right after he'd ink a new deal. Comes out, some D line, and I don't know who poked him. Hypothetically, let's just say in this grandma wagon scenario, Gibbs gets poked in the eye by a guy who's not even going to be on the practice squad. Dude tries to pick his nose, breaks his nose, pokes him in the eye. Right after signing that big deal, we'd all be like, "Oh my God!" Every time we re-sign somebody, they get hurt. Man, that would not be inaccurate. So, as much as it sucks for Sione Vaki, because you do kind of root for Brad Holmes with these goofy picks. Okay, at least I do. Okay, let's be real. All right, guy, let's just lay our cards on the table. Yeah, I was rooting for Manu. Why not? I was rooting for Vaki. Why not? It's fun, you know. If it works, awesome. If not, it sucks. But it is what it is. So I was kind of rooting for Vaki. We call Marcus Davenport Vaki the I can't stay healthy. Exactly, dude. Hell yeah. Starting to buy the Enos hype. Yeah, dude. Apparently Enos has been looking real good, dude. I can recall someone upset Lions fans questioning the Laporta pick. We don't need a tight end. We've got Brock Wright and Shane Zylstra. Hell yeah, Rick. You remember that, dude? That was coming off, though. Shane Zylstra was kind of popping a little bit here or there, dude. You know, Shane Zylstra was kind of looking like maybe a sneaky little maneuver there. You know what I mean? So I handle my silly surname and just call me Day. Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's way easier just to say Day. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, dude. Looks like Benedict is going to hard on Patricia. Bears are getting hit with a lot of injuries. Aw, man. That's absolutely terrible. What a terrible situation for the Chicago Bears. I hope they're going to be all okay. I hope they're all good. Oh, no. Oh, no. What a terrible thing for the Bears. Oh, poor Benedict Arnold, Osama Ben Johnson, the trader in Indiana. Oh, no. Oh, all right. Let's get into Mike Payton's mailbag. That didn't sound right, but sure. All right. What's the first question here? What did he have here? Can Brad Holmes retain Sam Laporta and Brian Branch after extending Jahmyr Gibbs? And that's that's a good question. Mike Payton says the answer is first yes, absolutely. The Lions can get all of this done because of the structure of the deals. Detroit consistently front loads guaranteed money while keeping early cap hits low. You also have to consider that Gibbs' new deal wouldn't actually go into place until 2028. All right, keep that in mind. It's going to give us a little bit of wiggle there, you know. The Lions have one more year on his rookie contract in 2026, plus the fifth-year option in 2027. So, you know, that's a little bit of a stretch out, a little bit of a push, a little bit of a push down the line. So the extensions don't kick in until 2028. Branch and Laporta are both under contract for 26, meaning their extensions wouldn't start until 27 at the earliest. So a little bit of wiggle the room there. Lions could also restructure St. Brown and Goff. Enos Rakestraw could potentially get an extension down the line, but wouldn't be a massive one. They simply don't have the extension pressure from the class they had in the 2023 group, which is actually a really good problem to have solved. Thank you, Terry and Arnold, for being a piece of shit from the 2026 class, because extending anyone significant from 24 is no longer here. Well, other than Enos Rakestraw. And that's not really it's kind of a wait and see, but he is kind of playing pretty good in camp. As for Kerby Joseph, moving on from him would not make that plan work. Would it make things marginally easier? Kind of, but not by much. The way the deal is structured, the Lions aren't saving significant money by cutting him. A lot of the contract is guaranteed. The Lions can absolutely get Branch and Laporta deals done without moving Joseph, and I'm sure they will at this point, and I'm not reporting anything here. Just going off a feeling. I think both extensions are probably going to be close to an in-season thing, similar to how Detroit has handled Montgomery, Ali McNeil, and Aiden Hutchinson. Yes, that's the thing I kept thinking about too. You know, we're all like, oh my God, we need to get Brian Branch, Sam Laporta. Well, first of all, we need to see how viable they are coming back off of pretty intense injuries. Brian Branch, way more significant in terms of like career resurgence post a ruptured Achilles. But if there's one guy in the NFL that I would be like, oh yeah, I'm putting my money on him from coming back from a ruptured Achilles. That man is Penei Sewell. But if there's another guy, it's Brian Branch. So I'm totally confident in Brian Branch being able to buck all of the stats and poke in everybody's eye. But all that to say, yeah, look for the deals to get done midseason, dude. It's not like Brad Holmes is afraid of doing a little business while the business is kind of busy. You know what I'm saying, dude? Any concerns for the O-line? Not at all. The unit is coming together nicely. I can think of only a few times sacks have happened. They've been stout. They look good in the run game. The only real question is who's going to play left guard, and we just don't know yet. Kind of was hoping that'd get a little bit more cleared up by now. Not gonna lie. Kind of thought that after the first week, maybe we'll know more on Thursday, right? Maybe Thursday. Maybe. That's all, folks. You know what I'm saying, dude? The thing is, the group needs to figure out is communication, timing, and the nuances of movement. Oh, okay. Just basically everything past the fundamentals of being a football player. Yeah, communication, timing, nuances of moving. Sure, it's only been since 6 days, but from what they've seen, I don't think there's anything to be concerned about. The defensive line isn't punishing them. Aiden Hutchinson is a real problem. We knew that. Balake Miller is having your classic rookie growing pains, and I haven't written Tate Ratledge's name through 6 days of camp. Tate Ratledge, my bad, which I think says more good than bad. If I'm writing about any of these offensive linemen beyond that little stuff, something bad happened. And that hasn't been the case. Good. A quiet confidence behind the most important cog in our offense. What's the biggest concern on the roster right now? It's the linebacker room. Okay, I thought things were pretty figured out with Jimmy Rolder, who looked like he was going to beat out Rodrigo for the starting job alongside Action Jack Campbell and Derek Barnes. That's saying a lot. But Rolder's injury, even though it doesn't seem to be a long-term issue, has put him behind the 8 ball. And personally, I'm just going to tell you right now, it's going to for the rest of the season. It's something that's it's something we talk about all the time on the channel. Hamstring injuries are impossible to bounce back from during the season. Rodriguez isn't horrible. I just don't know if he's a starting linebacker at this point. And I know Lions fans are excited about Devin White. But White hasn't been the player you remember from Tampa Bay since he was in Tampa Bay. So far, so good in camp, though. He's been really good against the run. I'd like to see more of him in coverage, but I haven't seen a whole lot of that just yet. Well, what did the Lions say they wanted to get better at? Defending and establishing the run. If you're bringing in, what do we say all the time? Hey, what do we say? It's all about what can you do for me. The Lions need to have dynamic players top to bottom across the roster. That means depth. That means having viable assets to deploy in in-game situations. If we need to have a linebacker who is just absolutely stout against the run and it needs to be in a rotationary piece, guess what, dude? We've proven that it's successful on the defensive line. The success of Za'Darius Smith-ish after we traded for him. The success of Al-Qadim Muhammad last year, right? It's almost like the Lions are deploying the same concept that people have to specialists along the defensive line to various positions across the defense as well. We've been saying that for years, though. It's kind of been the Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell approach is to have a dynamic skill set of players with a hybridization of positional availability. Beyond those guys, Nowinski is decent, but only in one spot. And Troy Reeder is more of a special teams player. Right now, I feel like Rodriguez is probably the week 1 starter at the will linebacker. Where the hell's my mouse? Jeez Louise. With White as a possibility, but there are a lot of questions that need to be answered the next few weeks. That's really the only big concern. The secondary looks good. The defensive line is playing well. The offensive line is playing well. The receivers look good. You'd love to have Gibbs back at running back, but Pistachio looks good. Sailors has been playing well. It's only been 6 days, though. More concerns could pop up. Are the Lions really going with what they have at cornerback? At this point, I think the Lions genuinely feel good about what they have. I do too. That's a little shocking because not a writer in that building walked into camp feeling great about the cornerback depth behind the starters. Now everybody's looking at Enos Rakestraw and saying he looks a lot better than expected. And then there's Nick Whiteside, who looks dramatically better than anyone thought he would. I told you guys. I told you guys. I told you guys. I've been telling you guys since we re-signed him. Nick Whiteside was going to be a menace on this defense. Should the Lions add one more veteran? Maybe that wouldn't hurt, but no team with a good cornerback has any reason to move off him right now. What makes the most sense for Detroit is waiting until after camp, seeing who gets cut, and grabbing a guy off the street. Then, if they still need a cornerback at the trade deadline, they can look at a team they know who know they're not making the playoffs and might be heading toward a rebuild. But talking to Dan Campbell about the position, he feels good about where it stands. I don't see the Lions making a trade anytime soon, nor do I, because we have a bunch of menacing players, a bunch of just diabolical, just whirling dervishes back in our secondary now. Will Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes get extensions in the Big 2-7? I think if they go out and have a great season, make the playoffs, win a playoff game, Campbell and Holmes will get extended. Duh! Even if they don't win the Super Bowl, if they just rebound and have a better year, I think it happens. Yeah, there's a lot of trust that Campbell and Holmes are doing. Sheila loves them. Martha loves them. Everybody in the organization is fully bought in. The only scenario where anything changes is if the Lions have an absolute disaster of a season. The wheels fall off. Everybody gets hurt. They lose double-digit games, and they win only 4 or 5. Even then, I feel like most of the pressure to move on would be external, coming from fans and media rather than from internal ownership. Which player and coach are your favorites to talk to on media day? Okay, sure. For players, I actually really enjoy listening and talking to Jared Goff. He has a sense of humor that's very dry, almost hidden. He's sarcastic and witty in a way that sometimes you might not even realize he's trying to be funny, but he is. I like to laugh when we talk to these guys. That's awesome, Jared Goff. Kerby's another one. He's not dry. He's flat out hilarious. He's just He's going to make you laugh. Jameson Williams has the most infectious energy. He's just happy about everything. For coaches, nobody cares. I'm sorry. I don't care about what coaches he likes to talk to. He likes to talk to everybody. There. How's that? He likes to talk to everybody. So there you go, dude. There's a little bit of mailbag, a little Q&A. Going to kick it on over to the chat here if I get to the top of this freaking lagged out article. Let's just go ahead and put it on Fox so that it doesn't do anything crazy. How we doing, chat? How we doing? Kind of figured that Spot is Mahogany's a dude. It's a combination of physical inability and worse. Yeah, I thought it was Mahogany's as well. It's kind of why I'm a little worried he hasn't just like I know that Mahogany will take it. I think the coaches are really making sure that he goes out there and gets it. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else on the offensive line is like some dogs. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if Christian Mahogany can handle being the weak link. Does that make sense? I think the Lions need him to prove to them and himself that he's ready to be that guy. You know what I mean? But he's looking good, says Brent Supreme. Hell yeah. Yeah, I kind of figured to be the starter day. You know what I'm saying? Even if his legs aren't exactly the same length or whatever. Whatever. I also heard from a person at camp the Lions DBs look really good, especially DJ Reed. Yeah, dude, Reed looks sick, dude. Apparently he's lean. He's faster than he was last year. He specifically went out and re-strengthened that hamstring, dude. I think Lions are going to play a lot more nickel this year. I do too. White is a linebacker, 0 doubt. Yeah, dude. We signed Devin White. Vita Vea's agent told NFL Stroud he doesn't see the current situation ending away other than a trade. I just don't see it ending other than a trade at this point. No shit. He was looking good. Marcus is going to be at Barnes. Oh, gotcha. Raining Bucks now. Yeah, Mom, it's coming down pretty good here too. It's really we're getting a good soak. Everything's getting a good soak. You know, we needed this. You know, we need this, and everything just needs a good soak. You know. Remember Goff and St. Brown podcast a while back? Amon Ra asking who the emergency QB is, obviously wanting Goff to say him. Goff named a couple others before finally saying, it's not you. I do remember that. There was to be Harris at starting. Dude, fuck Will Harris, dude. Fuck that guy, dude. Dude. By the time he was gone, I was like, I'm so sick of Will Harris, dude. And then we drafted Brian Branch, and everything's been good. other than his ruptured Achilles. Everything will be good, though. Well, Guy, that brings us to the end of the show. It's kind of a light day, but it was a light news day. Not a lot going on, kind of a little bit more walkthroughs today in practice. Lions will be back at it tomorrow. We'll have a bunch more information for us. Maybe some more news, some players taking some steps forward. Maybe we'll get some clarification. Maybe tomorrow Christian Mahogany comes out and plants his flag at the left guard spot. Maybe tomorrow, Cade Mays and Christian Mahogany. Maybe tomorrow's that day where it all just clicks on that O-line. And then it's just like, oh, fuck. It's on. It's very much on like a Donkey Kong. You know what I'm saying, my guy? All right, my guy. I appreciate each and every one of you who took time out of your night to come hang out with me on a Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. Especially raining here in mid-Michigan. But hopefully you're having a good night. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button on your way out the door and turn that notification bell on for me, will you, guy? All right. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so much. Until tomorrow, I'm James the Hat and Beard Show. You've been an attentive audience. We'll catch you next time. Bonga bonga. Frig off.